My brothers and sisters, my fellow citizens of Niger, the day I put my pen to paper, I did not just sign a document. I signed a future. The cameras flashed, the world watched, but for me, it was the echo of a new drumbeat, a rhythm born from the heart of our continent. $25 billion, and that number is not a transaction. It is a testament to our resolve. It is a monument built not of stone, but of sovereignty. This was not a moment of begging. It was a moment of bargaining. This was not a surrender. It was a partnership forged in mutual respect, uranium for infrastructure, energy for progress, and our independence for their investment. They said we were a nation of sand and drought, a people too poor to be anything but a client state. They saw our desert as a wasteland. But in that room, under the gaze of a skeptical world, they saw the truth. They saw the riches beneath our soil, and they saw a people who would no longer allow those riches to be plundered. For too long, our uranium has powered the homes of others, while ours remained in darkness. But no more. I did not sign for myself. I signed for the miner who digs in the heat of Arlit, for the herder who walks the plains of Zinder, for the student in Niamey who dreams of a nation built by its own hands. As the ink dried, I felt the old world tremble. They do not fear our weakness. They fear our awakening. Why Brazil? Why now? Because they came not with a patronizing offer of aid, but with a blueprint for a shared future. The West has held us hostage with debt and conditionalities, and others have offered investments that only created dependency. But Brazil, a titan of the global South, sees in us not just a resource, but a partner. They are not here to take the fish, but to help us build the nets, the boats, and the markets. For every kilogram of uranium that flows across the Atlantic, a stream of technology, investment, and training will flow back to our villages. This is the new architecture of dignity. We are not trading one master for another. We are aligning equals. Transparency is our sword against rumor. So let us speak plainly about what this pact contains. $10 billion for uranium mining, processing, and refining. We will not be a mere exporter of crude ore. We will climb the value chain, adding wealth within our own borders. $5 billion for energy infrastructure, including a massive solar and wind power grid that will bring electricity to our cities and villages, fueling our industries and lighting our homes. $4 billion for a trans-Sahelian railway network, connecting our landlocked nation to new markets, and opening up our interior for trade and development. $3 billion for agriculture and irrigation, bringing new life to our dry soil and ensuring our food security for generations. $2 billion for education and vocational training, building a new generation of engineers, technicians, and innovators. $1 billion for defense technology, because sovereignty without security is an empty promise. We will build our own capacity to protect our nation. These are not grants. They are not loans with hidden chains. They are foreign direct investments. This means Brazil is planting its capital in our soil, expecting growth for both sides. The question before us is simple. Will we ensure that Niger gains even more? Will the seeds they plant bear fruit for us, or only for them? In the markets of Maradi, as women bargain over millet, one question rises. Will this deal change my life? A truck driver hears the news on the road from Agadez and shakes his head, thinking of past empty promises. But this time must be different. If new roads bring goods to their markets, if electricity lights their homes for the first time, if our youth find jobs in new factories, then this pact will not be just words. It will be lived reality. The real battlefield is not in speeches or summits. It is in the villages, in the factories, and in the hands of ordinary Nigerians who will decide whether this pact lives or dies. Do you feel the tremors, my brothers and sisters? From Washington to Paris, from Brussels to Beijing, they whisper. How dare Niger, a nation of dust and struggle, sign a pact of this magnitude? The answer is simple. We dare because we must. The West has lectured us with aid disguised as chains. China has poured billions into Africa, but often on its own terms. They all believed they alone held the keys to our future. But now Brazil steps forward with a different offer. Trade, technology, and investment, not lectures or military bases. This deal is not simply Niger rising. It is Africa declaring to the world, we choose our partners. We choose our destiny. For too long, our uranium was priced in the currencies of others, tied to systems built far from our soil. But in this pact, we have begun to carve a new road. Discussions of a real CFA franc settlement. Imagine that. Our uranium leaving Niger, Brazilian technology arriving, all without passing through Western banks. Transactions outside the reach of sanctions. This is not just financial convenience. It is rebellion. It is freedom written in numbers. The CFA franc, still tied to Paris, remains a colonial chain on our wrists. But this is the first step toward breaking that tie. This step is risky, yes, but it is a risk worth taking, because every deal not priced in dollars is a statement. Africa is not a prisoner of the West's financial empire. What is sovereignty without security? A nation exposed to vultures. We have bled daily from insurgency, terrorism, and plots of destabilization. For too long, we begged for weapons and bought scraps at inflated prices. This pact changes that. $1 billion in defense production. Brazilian expertise, yes, but built in Niger, with our workers, our engineers, on our soil. Armored vehicles manufactured in Niamey. Communication systems designed by our own trained youth. It will not solve everything, but it changes the balance. It tells the world, we will no longer rent security, we will build it ourselves. The weapons in a Nigerian soldier's hands may soon bear the mark, made in Niger. And that, my brothers and sisters, is a revolution of its own. Every great gamble carries two futures, one bright, one dark. Which path we walk depends not on destiny, but on discipline. Best case, factories hum. Thousands of jobs bloom. Uranium revenues stabilize the economy. Electricity flows to villages. Our youth rise as engineers and innovators. Worst case, corruption seeps in like poison. Contracts are mismanaged, funds siphoned, factories remain foreign-owned enclaves while locals remain laborers. The people see little change. The pact collapses into another broken promise. The line is thin. We have fallen into the worst case too many times. I refuse that fate. But my refusal is not enough. It will take every Nigerian, vigilant and demanding transparency, to turn the bright future into reality. Do not think this pact is only about us. Africa watches. From Ghana's ministries to Senegal's markets, they ask, can Niger pull this off? If we succeed, we light a fire across the continent. Leaders will look to Niamey and say, if they could rise, so can we. The chains of dependency will weaken. A new map of power will be drawn. If we fail, our failure would be used as a weapon against all Africans daring to dream of freedom. The stakes are high, because history is watching. When I signed my name beside that of our Brazilian partners, I did not sign a simple contract. I signed a gamble, a generational bet, a challenge to history itself. This $25 billion pact is uranium, yes, but also factories, jobs, power plants, training programs, defense production. It is an architecture of sovereignty, a blueprint for dignity, a declaration that we are no longer beggars, but partners. 5 years from now, the world will judge. Will Niger shine with factories and lights or stumble in mismanagement and corruption? History's pen is in our hands. For too long it was held in Paris, in Washington, in London. No more. The story of Niger will be written in Niamey. The story of Africa will be written in African hands. The cameras may have captured the signature, but the fire belongs to us.